to the last, one of the final shows for the Solution Forum, the panel today, okay? I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Terry Williams. I'm the head of consumer for MyRepublic Singapore and the group chief innovator as well. So today, we're going to be discussing the future of 10G in Singapore, all right? Now, just to be clear, we're talking about fiber broadband connectivity. We're not talking about mobile connectivity. We're not talking about some extremely fancy private jet, all right? Although that does sound like an interesting topic as well. Okay, we have 3 guests with us today. And in sake of time and accuracy, I'll let each of them introduce themselves. So why don't we have them come up here? First off, Lawrence Chan. All right, we have Jason Yeo and Hugo Tsai. All right, go ahead, Lawrence.
Hi everybody, those of you who are in the morning, you probably know who I am already. So, my name is Lawrence, I'm the managing director for MyRepublic. I'm the same guy that tanked 1 gig prices in 2014. So, for those of you who enjoy very cheap 1 gig prices, it was me. So, hopefully we have something exciting to tell you about for 10 gig as well. Right? So, let's pass it on to Hugo.
Very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hugo Tsai. I'm the regional director for TGN Technologies. 10 years ago, we come to Singapore to setting up the office and bringing the consumer product. Today, we are expanding to the new business area, to the business and the enterprise. Thank you all for supporting us, and I hope everyone enjoyed the event today.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm one of the key suppliers to MyRepublic, and I've been handling all the networking stuff around the region. And at the same time, we are here today definitely is talking about 10G and the future of it. Thank you.
Jason is from TGN.
Yes, I'm from TGN Technology.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Doing my job for me, right? I love it. Slacker. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have direct question to each of the panelists, and after that we might have a little bit of open discussion. We're going to try to get through these questions as quickly as we can. If we have time at the end, we'll do some question and answer. But let's get started because we have a tight 30 minutes that we're going to get behind, all right? So, first question, this one's to Hugo. What are the key advantages of 10G internet connectivity for businesses in Singapore?
Yes, actually, Singapore is the first country, the top countries to launch the 10G broadband. There are several for the advantages for using the 10G broadband. Firstly, 10G of course is a faster data transfer. You know the 10G is almost 10 times compared to 1G. So the faster data transfer will make our lives more easier. The second is 10G increase our cooperations. That means everyone can, in the office, you guys, even a lot of people can work together if you're using the 10G broadband. Thirdly, it increases the user experience. In the futures, 10G broadband using, you can see the gaming together, watching a let's say 8K movie together. So this is a key advantage for using the 10G broadband.
Excellent, thank you so much. Good answer. Jason, I'm gonna start ratcheting it up a bit. Difficulty level, all right?
No worries.
Just like a video game.
Okay.
All right, so how do you see the current state of broadband infrastructure in Southeast Asia? Is it ready to support widespread 10G internet connectivity?
With my recent travel after the COVID, I've been to a couple of countries and seen that governments definitely regionally need to improve, especially on the investment in the infrastructure, and the fact that there's still plenty of room to grow. And it will be great that, especially with today's progress for Singapore, we are leading it, and that's what we're looking at.
Excellent. Lawrence, did you have something to say? Good? Okay. All right. Don't worry, I have a question for you too. I didn't want to speak.
I thought I was here for 3 class. We're talking since morning.
No. He almost lost his voice yesterday. At the end of the rehearsal, he could barely talk. So I don't know what you did, but he's drinking some kind of special tea.
Lots of training karaoke.
I'm mixing it up. I'm gonna have another one for you.
Okay.
How does your company contribute to the development and deployment of 10G internet in the region?
Okay, basically, so we are expanding very much into looking for the latest and newest product to expand and help out with the progress of networking regionally. And of course, we also work very closely given that we are very technically strong in terms of networking. So we know how to update vendors and also to update and to work with stakeholders on what's coming and what's available infrastructurally across the region. And so that's what we have been doing for the last couple of years, and that's what's happening.
Excellent. And I've learned a lot from Jason. Actually, I remember sitting down with you a year ago, and you were the guy, my go-to guy.
Thank you.
It's very interesting. All right, so Lawrence, now this is one kind of like I think right up your alley. As everyone here is also a consumer, I imagine we all have home broadband. If you don't, it's a very fun thing to have. I highly recommend it. As everyone here is also a consumer, how can consumers benefit from a 10G connection, maybe in terms of productivity, collaboration, or entertainment?
Okay, so I think 10G is critical for some use cases coming up the pipeline. And I think what we've seen in the killer app for 10G would actually be AR and VR. Do know that, in latest benchmarks, holograms take 16 times more bandwidth than the average 4K video. 16 times, right? Just to produce a constant flow of hologram. And this is now the pipeline, especially in the aspect that, with AI, generative AI, more and more such content can be created on the fly. So what I do see about the 10G broadband is that it's going to build an infrastructure for new services that's going to come in. Now, when you're actually looking at broadband infrastructure, when you move from 100 meg to 1 gig to 5 gig to 10 gig, you realize that over time, at the starting point, there may not be as many use cases for it. But only when the infrastructure is there, then these use cases actually start to come alive. I remember when we were launching 100 meg, right? Things like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go and Disney Plus, those things were not around. They were actually still pre-launch. They were only in the US. They were not things that we were doing constantly. And only when the proliferation of internet to a certain point, then we see mass adoption of new technologies. So if you look at the whole use case, I'll say AR, VR, a bit distant away, but it's coming. For a very near use case, video streaming and 8K. So when we actually went through the pandemic, actually we used to run our network utilization in the company around 40% utilization so that we can actually make sure that there's enough network for everybody. Okay, at the start of the pandemic, when the work from home started, right, we actually went up all the way to 70%. So actually, I think that number has not come down at all. In fact, it started to increase because we started seeing more and more people adopt work from home even after the pandemic. So it's become a constant issue. So I think when people work from home, you realize there's more than one user live streaming at the same time. So the infrastructures in the past were not built for that. I think 10 gig will be built for that, especially from mass utilization of home perspective. And honestly, if your kid is going to watch 8K or going to do AR or VR, and then you're still working from home, imagine the experience there. How can you handle that, right? And then you can tell your kid you cannot play VR games, you cannot play AR games when it comes around. You're not going to do that, right? Last but not least, the entire distribution structure of software has changed rapidly. When's the last time you heard of a CD or Blu-ray disc or whatever it is? And software only gets fatter, it doesn't get thinner. Average computer game can be anywhere between 20 gigabytes all the way to 80 gigabytes. The download required to just start playing a game might take days if you're using a slow connection. But with a 10 gig solution, you can suddenly start consuming this software within half an hour, right? So I think that's one of the critical use cases we see immediately, and that will be the early adopters. Then later on, when AR and VR is going to And it doesn't mean that you are going to use it, but your kids are going to use it. So if your kids are going to use it, how do you work from home? Right? So that's where the 10 gig infrastructure really comes in.
Very interesting, very interesting. And I'm also really excited about AR as well. Don't ask me why, but for work business purposes, of course. All right, we'll keep it on track. All right, excellent. Thank you. Great answer, by the way. All right, yeah, lots of good entertainment coming down the pipeline for us and our families, and being able to have the whole family be able to enjoy all this and still stay productive with all this work from home. I think it's super important. Absolutely. Hugo, your turn, I guess. How do you see the role of 10G in the future of smart cities and Internet of Things?
Yes, actually, for the smart city and the Internet of Things, we are quite familiar with this concept because in China, in other countries, we are doing a lot of things on the IoT things. Firstly, for the smart city and IoT, is need to do a lot of the traffic on the data. That means the lower latencies on the internet is a big need for this smart city and IoT. So for 10Gs is definitely a requirement for this smart city. That imagines in the future, all the traffic system can be easily managed by all the internet through the 10G network. So 10G network will be the basement for this infrastructure for the future. So smart city and IoT, but not definitely IoT. But nowadays, everyone got a lot of IoT devices in your home. So IoT will be one of the consumption for the bandwidth for the internet. So 10G is very efficient, so you can keep on for this future network.
Excellent, good answer. I guess that 10G infrastructure, in that SMB space, to extend that to the home as well as the next kind of logical step, kind of where's that first step and then that extension. Interesting. And actually, I was talking to Hugo. I used to live in Beijing myself, and I've seen the proliferation of IoT there and the acceptance of it and things like that. It's interesting how people are really taking that on in their lives. And being from Shenzhen, I'm sure you've seen it a lot.
Yeah, we can meet you in the center.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go over to Jason. Let's hear. What types of businesses and industries will benefit the most from adopting 10G and why?
I would say definitely the high bandwidth and high data usage industry. So you will have like the R&D centers, which Singapore has been very greatly focused on. I've actually visited a few of the semicon companies, and they were actually asking very much for it. Also on the healthcare industry, they also definitely need it a lot, and it does help even for among all the small SMB customers. It will definitely help in terms of the productivity and efficiency. Okay, and especially with the additional bandwidth, we can actually explore having much better cybersecurity being processed at the edge rather than on-prem with 10G. So these are the small little things that add up, and of course, with the 10G infrastructure coming in, things will naturally fall into place, and everybody will start to sign up, because we actually saw it happening when MR first started with the 1G, and things start to boom up, and everybody start to have 1G at home. Everybody is very common, and eventually, right now, we are moving on to the next stage of 10G for home business.
Very good answer.
I actually think that he's right. So in the sense that, so I'm the kind of person that doesn't believe that it's a one-size-fits-all solution. So like, everybody says they move everything onto the cloud. I actually don't agree, right? I think on-prem is going to start to make a comeback. On-prem equipment is going to start on-premise. So on-prem equipment is going to make a comeback. And the main reason is that cloud is not as cheap as it sounds, right? There are a lot of costs when it comes to on OpEx level for cloud. Cloud is very easy to scale, but after a certain size, it starts to become a bit more costly. And that is a concern, especially when we start to see that might be things that are not so critical, things that are nearer to the premise itself, that it makes a lot of sense to actually put the on-prem equipment in. Even from a consumer angle, right? what I do see is that there are more and more devices that have cameras on them. So I think in the recent years, we started to see things like home robotics, you know, those little nanobots and all those kind of little pet robots. You start to see quite a lot coming into the house and the monitoring. That's a very good example of on-prem, right? It's actually, when you do a video feed, you're actually drawing it from the home itself, right? So these things actually are going to start to see more and more. It's definitely not must for cloud today, I believe. And there's a lot of software solutions that help you manage on-prem now. So I think with that going in and people want to save costs, because you know, if you do on-prem, what's the big thing for businesses, especially the SMB show, right? Is you can capitalize that cost. And a lot of businesses want to capitalize their OPEX, right? Because they want better P&Ls, they want better valuations. So capitalization is going to drive on-prem, and from there, I think that's when the 10 gig demand is going to shoot up a little bit. I see that happening. When the pendulum swings too far to the left, it'll swing to the right. So if too many people are going to the cloud, they're going to see a drive towards on-prem as well.
Hey, good. I like that pendulum. That's actually what I was thinking in my mind when you said that. Okay, excellent. I see the 10-minute marker here. So why don't I go through a few more questions. We will try to take a couple questions. I see a lot of people in the audience. So, okay, why don't we go over to, the next one was for Lawrence, but since you answered the last one, I'm going to actually have this for Hugo, if that's okay. Cool. All right, so Hugo, how do you, okay, this is a really tough one. How do you see 10G connectivity impacting the digital divide in Southeast Asia? And what efforts are being made to ensure equal access to high-speed connections?
Yes. Actually, many countries in the Southeast Asia, they are in the state of deploying the 10G internet. Yeah, but there's still a long way to go for a lot of countries. But for us, for DB-Links, we are doing a lot of investment in this part. So we are the first one. We launched the version 10G very soon with my company on that part. So besides this, we are doing a lot of job to make the other countries like the Southeast Asia, the other countries. We also cooperate a lot, like Malaysia or Indonesia. We are looking at that part because we are the vendors. So we are doing a lot of efforts to let other countries to enjoy the internet, high-speed internet with a very cost-effective way. Because we are very excellent on that part, so we want to bring the whole device or whole network to be the affordable price on that part.
Good answer. And I guess like just making sure you have that full range of devices that allow access for different people with different SES or different levels of income and things. Very cool. All right. This one actually is for Lawrence, and then don't worry, Jason, we have one for you too. Everybody wants to chime in. All right. So Lawrence, as the demand for high-speed internet connectivity increases, how do you see the competitive landscape of the broadband market evolving in the coming years?
You have to come to terms with the fact that connectivity is a commodity. It is a commodity. I think when telcos do not realize that, I think they are in denial. Right? So like any other commodity, when there's enough providers, the price will drop. Right? And if the big providers are not there to drop it, we'll be there to drop it. Right? So you heard it here first. My company will be launching a 10 gig product in June, and accessibility is always our main concern, right? When we launch a product, we want everyone to use it. We do not want a certain elite segment to use it. So we'll be launching our 10 gig product in June, and I hope everyone can look out for it. Price to be disclosed in June. You'll see how good it is. And we're also in partnership with TP-Link to make it very affordable. So, you know what's one of the hardest things for 10G right now? The hardest thing for 10G right now is that we are moving at a pace where some devices are still not able to support it. If you look at the routers in the market, there's actually not a lot of routers that support 10G. And TP-Link is one of the companies to actually have one. And we're working with them to bring that into the market. So that's the number one biggest challenge. The number two biggest challenge is that network interface cards in computers not all support 10 gig. And last but not least, even if it supports 10 gig, you'll start to see that the chipsets will start to be stressed out for a while when you really are at full 10 gig. But that's okay because hardware evolves really fast. You're going to see prices of 10 gig routers, 10 gig modems all come down over the next 2 years. And that will be the case when eventually it becomes every home is no longer using 1 gig. For my view on how it affects the competitive landscape, I think that all companies, all telcos will start to have to average downwards. Right, average downwards. In Singapore, at the end of the day, the mass market consumer does not want to spend more than $60 for broadband. For sure. We see that market all along, right? Even $60 might be a bit high right now, right? Most of you who has 1 gig at home, you are paying anywhere between $38 to $45 if you didn't get a device or anything. It's around that price, 38 to 45. Okay? I know we monitor it every day, so we know the price. But that has not changed. Honestly, that has not changed. When it was at 10 meg, people were paying 50 and sub 50. When it was 100 meg, people were paying 50 and sub 50. When it was a 1 gig, people were paying 50 and sub 50. It's going to be the same for 10 gig. Eventually, it'll come down to 50 and sub 50. So, and people don't want to change how much their pricing for water is, how much their pricing for electricity is. They will not want to change what their pricing for connectivity is. Water, electricity, connectivity, to me, is on the same level of commodity needs today. If someone came to you and said, water is going to go up by 3 times the price, there'll be riots in the street. So, same thing. If connectivity is going to cost 3 times more, there'll be riots in the street. So, that's where the landscape will be. We already know what the price will even out to eventually. So, all telco providers will come down to that point.
Very dystopian view, but I like it. I like it how broadband fits into everybody's home. We love that it does, of course. Now, one final question for Jason. We'll see if we can take a question. I had the 5-minute marker there. But Jason, after 10G, what's after 10G?
Yeah, what's
Seems
next?
like so out there, you know?
Yeah, right. Especially in my sense, I do see a lot of industry people, and of course the big five. Of course, you have the Google, the Facebooks, and the T-Mobiles. They are actually using 800G switches in their data centers. So for them, they have actually moved on from 400G to 800G. For us, we are looking at 10G. Of course, the next progress will be 25, 40G, and of course, it will be 100G. So that's what's going to be happening for us. And actually, honestly, for us to jump from 1G to 10G, Lawrence, how long did it take?
I'll say 1G proliferation started in 2014.
Yeah, so I'll say 8 to 9 years. That's what it took.
For everyone hit about 4G to hit 1G, I think it was around 2015. I think by 2015 most people 1G.
Yeah, I remember when it was 2012, I think. Yeah. So, and way before 1G, 100 meg was
100 meg to 1G was quite fast.
Yeah, 100 meg to 1G was very fast for everyone, and in fact, for us, for the general public or general population, 1G to 10G actually took us quite a fair bit. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take for 10G to next gen of 25G.
So we were all there during that period. So I'll tell you what's the big difference. The big difference is that when 100 meg was around, all the computer ports were at 1 gig already.
Yes.
Right. But now when 10 gig is at the telco level, the computers are still across the market, the majority is still 1 gig. So unless you're buying a nice Aftershock or Razer or a nice Alienware laptop with or desktop with a 10G card inside, a lot of cards in the market that's 2 years old is still 1G. So that's where the big difference for 10G is right now. It's that the telcos has overshot the hardware providers. So that'll be interesting to see. the 1G. However, I think that the use cases when it comes down the pipe, some things that you would never imagine doing, like for example, things like getting rid of your mobile phones and having digital screens floating all over around you. And I think that's quite likely. The thing to kill phones is AI, right? So when that comes down the pipe, you start to realize that we had to go down this path. The 10G had to be ready before all these things start to happen. And it's not that far away, guys. I think with thanks to AI and the AI pushing technology even further, I think that's 5 years, 3 to 5 years. Right? So we prepare to see some very cool stuff in the next 3 to 5 years.
All right. Wow. So I might see 100G by the time it happens every 10 years. By the time I'm 40, we'll see 100G, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways. All right. We do actually have Hugo's on. You're going to actually be speaking after this, right? Okay, so I want to give you some time. Maybe we have time for one question. Does anyone have a good question for any of the panel here? We answered them all. Wow, that was a very efficient session. I want to thank all of you guys very, very much for the panel discussion. Please stick around for Hugo's presentation next.
Yes.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.